we've got to start with what did you think about the performance of Drew Holiday tonight? You know, big time night from him.
Oh, I thought he was really, really good, but I mean, he's been really, really good the whole season. So it's not, this is not like a surprise or anything. He's been great the whole season, and as I said, in my opinion, and I may be a little bit biased, but if you can tell me a better two-way player in the league right now, Kawhi's not playing, I understand that, but if you can tell me a better two-way player in the league right now, I'm willing to listen. But what we ask him to do and the things that we ask him to do offensively, he was just great tonight. But I thought our whole team did a good job. Once again, I thought it was a good team win because when we needed guys to step up, we had different guys that stepped up and made big plays for us. On the left, please.
Just kind of overall thoughts, Alvin, on leaving here 2-0. I don't think anybody predicted. I think everybody on ESPN, 22 analysts, picked Portland to at least win one of these games, and now you're leaving here, going back to New Orleans up 2-0.
I guess it's great that we don't listen to the analysts then. To me, we got 2 wins. We still got to get 2 more wins. So we're not, overly excited about anything because, we still have 2 more games that we have to win. And we're playing against a really, really well-coached, great team. And, we've done an exceptional job on those 2 guards, and you never know when they're just going to go off. And so we're not celebrating anything. We're not doing anything. We've got 2 wins. We have to come up with 2 more. That was our message to the team, and that was their message to each other, that we hadn't done anything yet. We've got 2 wins unless we got to try to find a way to get 2 more. In the middle.
Alvin, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. A couple of questions about Drew. First of all, his role in defending their guards, it seems to be the central aspect of your game plan. Can you talk about some of the things that he's been doing on the floor with all the offense? And secondly, why do you think he is not clearly the guy that everybody thinks about when they think of two-way players in the league?
I don't. First, I'll answer the second part first. I don't understand because he's done it the whole season. This is not something, that has happened over the last, 10, 12 games. He's done it for the entire season where we ask him to guard the best perimeter player, and we ask him to do it while we're also wanting him to get 20 points for us every night out. So it's really tough. And, I think what he is, he just locks in. I mean, we ask him to guard, both those guys. If one heat up a little bit, then we put him on that particular guy, and he's answered the bell every time. So, as I said, I just thought that he started the game tonight really getting the ball and driving it to the basket and was able to, to score some easy hoops, driving it to the basket, and then, they began to switch, and we liked the mismatch that he had when they switched the things, and I thought he just came through for us. On your left, Coach.
Rod Walker with the New Orleans Advocate. Coach, how big was that stretch there in the end of the third quarter when Drew picked up his 4th foul and the team was able to kind of withstand that and outscore them 12-10 to close the quarter?
I think he's smart enough to play with fouls, and more so than anything, we wanted to get him out for a few minutes to give him a rest because we knew that down the stretch we were going to have those guys. And what we try to do over the course of the game is that we try to save as many timeouts as we can so that if we have to use them as rest timeouts, we can use them as rest timeouts also. In the middle, Coach.
Alvin from Hoops UIL. Rajon Rondo had 17 assists in the first game, and tonight it seems like Portland managed to deflect some of his pass to Davis. Instead, he gave you 2 clutch 3-pointers and several points at the fourth quarter. Were you expecting this kind of offensive performance from him?
Well, I don't know where that playoff Rondo name came from. I don't know who came up with that, but he is a guy that, if you can remember last year in the Chicago-Boston series, he had them in the same situation, where they went in and won 2 games in Boston, and then he was hurt. But he's just a guy that he really have command of the team. The guys really believe in him. They swung him the ball and they wanted him to shoot it, and in those situations, I like his chances because I know, what a competitor he is, and I know that the chances of him making that shot are pretty good if they're going to leave him wide open.
You knew the way y'all were trapping Dame, eventually he would start trying to force his way into this game. He hit that big 4-point play to tie the game. What did you think about the way the team responded from that point?
Oh, as I said, I got so much respect for Lillard. You know, I just think he's one of those guys that you know, he's going to try to will his way through anything. And you know, he's always been a guy that had to earn it. You know, no one really, you know, had to go to school at a place, didn't get very many offers. So, you know, you got to understand that he's never going to give up. You know, he's never going to give up, and he's going to continue to attack and attack and attack. And I thought we responded well. You know, it was a great shot. He made a great shot, but we went right back down and scored. And I think that, you know, our guys have had a real calmness about them in this series so far. They hadn't let anything bother them. And, you know, we've executed when we really needed to.
Back right.
Coach, you kind of answered the question there, but how has this team been able to keep its composure when that arena gets so fired up? It seems like every time they needed a response or a big shot, they hit it tonight.
Well, you know, we've been a pretty good road team all season long. You know, as a matter of fact, I think we had the 4th best road record or 5th best road record in the league. So, you know, it's not unusual for us to play well on the road. And I just think our guys just felt like if we came in here and played to the abilities that we have and what we could do, that we would put ourselves in a position to win, and then we would have to make plays down the stretch to do it.
You were asked, Alvin, earlier today about heavy minutes and a quick turnaround with the next game being on Thursday night. Is that almost a positive now that you're up 2-0, that your team is going to play so soon with so much confidence?
Well, I think, you know, you just play, and everybody looks at minutes and everything. There's a guy in Cleveland that's about 65 years old, and he plays all game, and he plays all game very effectively. You know, my guy, you know, is 25 years old, and the other one is 26, and the other one is 29. So, you know, I don't worry about minutes at this stage. I really don't. You know, I mean, LeBron does it every night. 82 times he's done it. And 82 times has been way over 30 minutes. And so if he can do it, I think the other guys can do it. And to me, at this stage, you know, you want your best players on the court as many minutes as they can possibly be out there. So, you know, I don't worry about the minutes that we're playing them. You know, we can rest all the way. We got a 4-hour plane ride that we can rest and sleep, and nobody will bother them. Yeah.
Coach, first playoff game in New Orleans in 3 years coming up on Thursday night. What are you kind of expecting from the crowd on Thursday night?
You know New Orleans. I don't have to tell you about that. It'll be about as festive as you can get there, and it'll be loud and you know, very supportive, and that's the thing that I like about the people in New Orleans. But you know what? In all honesty, guys, they've been that way when we've struggled. You know, obviously we've struggled for 2 years, and they've been very supportive and very positive, and you know, this will be great for them, and nobody is more deserving than the fans that we have. Back left.
When you put the ball in Drew's hands, how confident are you that you're going to get a good shot out of that possession?
Pretty confident, you know, pretty confident. I think, you know, he's so underrated as a, you know, as just a guard that can do things on the floor. You know, he can get the basket against just about anybody that there is. His outside shot has really improved. And, you know, we knew that he was going to square up. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to take the long three. When the clock got to 5, I knew that he wasn't going to drive that one. But I thought he created separation enough that he got a good shot off.
Coach, have you seen Drew play with this much emotion, though? He's showing a lot of emotion out there on the court.
Not really. I think this is something that's fairly new for him. And that, but, you know, he's in a really good place also. You know, I think he's in a really good place, and he's very confident in what he's doing and the way he's playing right now. Is that everybody? We still got 2 more games to win, so we're not celebrating anything, okay? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just a quick one. Why is it that Drew is in such a really good place, I guess, personally?
Well, I mean, he's been through some tough times lately, you know. I mean, he's been through some tough times. I mean, first year he's injured. He's on, you know, minute restrictions throughout the greater part of the season. And then, I mean, everybody's familiar with the situation with his wife and what they had to go through there. And everybody's like healthy and in a good place now. And so I think, mentally he's in a real good place.
Sorry, Coach. Last question. Yes, you're right.
Yes.
You talked a lot about offensive rebound. Sorry. You talked about offensive rebounds. They had 10 in the first half, and then things changed a little bit in the second half, and you had a couple of big ones late off the missed free throws. What changed?
I thought we were a lot more active as far as boxing out. They're really, really a good offensive rebounding team in that when the ball goes up, they're always trying to maneuver to get inside position, and they do a great job of it. I just thought that we had to be much more aware when the ball is shot. We had to try to step out and make contact first before we pursued the ball, because when we didn't do that, a lot of the times that they beat us, especially early in the game, they just beat us to the ball. All right, thanks, guys.
Head coach Alvin Gentry in the proverbial catbird seat, up 2-0. Mark Ingram, Saints running back, is excited. Pell's coming back with a 2-0 lead.
Should be excited, man. That was an impressive performance.
That was.
That was special. That really was special to watch the way they performed. And, you get a better appreciation for Alvin Gentry and this New Orleans team because they also went through their own adversity, losing DeMarcus Cousins, having to kind of revamp the way they play. And it's been impressive watching them in person. You look at them, and every time I watch them, I start wondering what their ceiling is. Just how good can they be? Because they're not that deep. That's the one concern, right. One area where if a guy gets in foul trouble,
yep.
that's something you got to be concerned about. But, man, I tell you what, when they're clicking, they are a handful because of how good they are on both sides of the ball.
Well, to your point about the depth, they've been outscored 27-16 and 36-15 in the two games off the bench. And that's really the only thing that's made this interesting so far for Portland. They're getting so much from the bench. I think a couple things stood out for me tonight watching the game. Dell Demps probably hasn't gotten nearly enough credit for acquiring Mirotic in the way he did. Mm-hmm. Not only did he bring Mirotic in, who is a perfect fit with the rest of their group, he moved out the money of Ashik and only had to give up one pick to do that.
Right.
The fit of this group really allows for Rondo to be Rondo as well.
Well, Terry Stotts, down 0-2, has reached the microphone. Let's listen.
What happened tonight in that effect, you think?
Well, I think, as I said before, Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo are exceptional defensive point guards, and they've made a concerted effort to double team and blitz our pick and rolls and get the ball out of their hands. So it's nothing that we haven't seen before. It's just they're doing a good job with it. But honestly, I don't know. The third quarter was the turning point, both from an offensive point and defensive standpoint. Whether it's the way they're attacking our guards or not, I'm not sure, but I mean that's what they're trying to do.
Dame and CJ typically, get their shots and get their points every night in big bunches. What is it about Holiday in particular that has made life a little difficult for both of them in this series?
Drew Holiday has good length. He has good strength. He's a smart defender. Size. He's experienced. He's always been a good defender. No matter who he's guarding. I mean, he's had a career of being a good defensive guard.
Coach A.J. McCord, CBS Portland, what did you see different between Nurk's play in Game 1 and Game 2? Seemed like he was attacking the rim a little bit more tonight. Was that part of the game plan? How did you feel about his decision-making?
I thought his decision-making was fine. He struggled to finish some baskets early. Third quarter, he went out with a mild injury, and then, it was just the matchups decided to go with Chief guarding Davis. So, but I thought he really gave a good effort. He got tired in the first quarter because he spent a lot of energy rolling and getting some rebounds. But, in some ways, I thought his decision-making was good in Game 1 as well. So it was just, I know he was frustrated, not that he had some opportunities that he didn't finish.
Coach, Travis Demers, Rip City Radio. Was Nurk available to return when he came back from the locker room?
Yes.
And what about Evan Turner? Is there an update on him yet?
No update.
Thank you.
He was not available.
left, Coach.
Serena Winters, NBC Sports Northwest. Mo's first game back, it seemed like he got into a good rhythm there early. What did you just make of his first back?
I thought he was terrific. He had, we weren't going to play him as many minutes as we played him, but he handled it well. But he was active. He played good defense. Obviously 5 for 5. I couldn't have asked for much more for a guy who'd been out for 3 weeks.
Terry, you're down 0-2 now going to New Orleans for games 3 and 4 in a pretty bad hole. How do you feel about where you are at this point?
Well, we got to win 2 games in New Orleans, and hopefully it's the next 2. But it's easy math. We got to go and win 2 in New Orleans, and I feel we're very capable of winning both games. Both games have been very tight. New Orleans has made the plays to win the games in the end, but it's what makes the playoff series great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Damien and CJ will be in here. Well, the math may be easy. The assignment's not as much when you're dealing with Anthony Davis and the Pelicans headed back home up 2-0.